Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about Hollywood kind of freaking out a little bit about the Warner Brothers sale. That means fewer jobs. The unions are being suspiciously quiet, though.
Yeah, it's surprising because they're usually very loud about this stuff.
Yeah, now I did a video the other day talking about the WGA, that they were going to fight tooth and nail, but apparently the other unions, the Actors Union, the Directors Guild, IATSE, they're not really saying too much about it. And I think this is because the last time they made a lot of noise, a lot of people lost their jobs and Hollywood never fully recovered from the double strikes. So I have to wonder if they're kind of like, you know what, let's keep our mouths shut and hopefully we can live another day.
Or wait and see what happens. But yeah, I think it's a matter of like, when we, shoot off our mouths, we don't get hired.
Right. And we kept telling people this was going to happen. It's going to happen. So we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk more about the Warner Brothers sale. We're going to talk about Paramount and Skydance already slashing people. And I guarantee you, and they've got some numbers pulled up here on the wrap. I guarantee you if Paramount Skydance buys Warner Brothers, which is probably the most likely scenario, a lot of people are going to get gone. A lot of things are going to get cut.
I think if they don't and somebody else buys it, it's going to be the same situation.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's going to be...
There's redundancies. They're going to be gone.
Because the most qualified buyers right now are tech companies. So we've got, Skydance, Paramount. We've got some interest, I guess, from Netflix, some interest from Apple and Comcast.
I think Netflix said they weren't going to do it.
Yeah, I don't think Netflix is really that interested in it, but there's a lot of debt, right? I mean, there's a lot of debt.
I think that's a big deterrent is the debt.
So we'll see. We'll see who buys it and who's left standing. But yeah, just a side note here. I just thought this was kind of funny. It's out on Twitter that Tubi's saying that they're actually doing better with Looney Tunes than Warner Brothers was doing on Max. This is one of their top 10 shows. So,
that's funny. But I'm not surprised. I mean, but then again, I'm like, but I don't think there's a big demand for Looney Tunes. But I think a lot of people are watching Tubi because it doesn't cost anything. So I think as the economy keeps going to shit, people are going to things like Tubi and stuff to watch as opposed to watching ones you have to pay for. And you watch what's on there, right? So Looney Tunes is getting the second win, and then they have people interested in the new movie that's going. Isn't it coming to Tubi also? Well, theaters, and then
think theatrical, then Tubi. I think,
yeah,
because Warner Brothers. I mean, that's pretty sad. Warner Brothers doesn't even have enough interest in its own legacy to bother keeping the Looney Tunes on the Warner Brothers' own platform. I mean, that's insane to me. That'd be like Disney waking up one day and being like, "Hey, yeah, we don't really need Mickey Mouse anymore," so.
I know, it doesn't make any sense.
Whatever. So let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, you'll get woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
Again, just another reminder real quick. If you haven't filled out your survey for the Halloween pins, please do so. They are shipping out right now. Getting them out as fast as we can. We had about a week or two delay, unfortunately, with production. It happens. I wish it wouldn't have, but it did. So we're getting them out as fast as we can, but we still have quite a few people that have not filled out their surveys.
Yes, so please do.
All right. And the Christmas pins are going to be any day now. We're going to drop that one, and that's going to be another fast turnaround. So keep an eye out for that. All right. So this article is coming from The Wrap. It's called, it says Warner Brothers sale could kill even more jobs. How will Hollywood labor respond? So I did talk about the Writers Guild the other day, and they basically threatened to fight tooth and nail against Skydance, Paramount, Warner Brothers merger. And that's not going to get very far because, again, the Ellisons are BFFs with Trump. And the last time there was a big merger, Trump was in office too. They're just like, yeah, whatever, just do it. Just do it already.
I mean, they let Disney merge and stuff with Fox.
Yeah.
And that would have been when Trump was there.
So this writer is actually confused as to why they're not saying more, because again, remember, historically, or at least in the last, 5 to 8 years, the unions constantly like, we want more money. We're against this. We're against that. I think after the strikes, the last time basically backfired. Like again, said they would. This is New York Times. The New York Times, Hollywood has not recovered jobs lost during the strikes, coming from the New York Times. I think they're kind of like, yeah, let's not shoot ourselves in the foot again, because there's going to be a lot fewer jobs.
Well, there's going to be, no matter what, whether you speak up or not, there's going to be fewer jobs. And they're aware of that now, because, it all comes to pass, and it keeps coming to pass with each guild. We've seen it with animation, we've seen it with WGA, we've seen it with the directors and the SAG-AFTRA, and we've seen it each time. I mean, the directors think that are the least impacted. And they all shot their mouths off, and they know the jobs are inevitably going to shrink. There's no question. It's inevitable at this point. So now it's just, you don't say too much until you know what's going on, because if there's only fewer jobs, you don't want to ruin your chances of getting those jobs, or creating a bad, rapport with the people at the studios and stuff that could be leading to not getting you hired and going with somebody else. So it makes sense, because they know it's inevitable.
They don't need you like they needed you 10 years ago, 15 years ago. That's like, Adam Conover is a relic from another decade, because he mistakenly thinks that if you hold your breath and turn blue, that the studios will eventually have to just capitulate. They'll have to kowtow to you. And that is not what happened. That worked the first time with the writer's strike, because, we didn't have ChatGPT, and now we do, right? And we didn't have people who were willing to work outside the system. And it seems like more and more people are willing to work outside the system. And they mentioned that.
It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous, because really it has gone above and beyond what its original purpose was. The original purpose of unions, again, we talk about this all the time. The original purpose was make sure there are better, fairer working conditions for people, better pay for people. But now the unions have become, in a lot of ways, the bullies, that they basically bully their employers into agreeing to terms that will harm their business.
What it reminds me of is paying protection money, because what they've turned into
exactly
is,
what it is.
No one is allowed to work unless you go through them. You're not, I mean, there are ways, but for the most part, you have to be part of the union, or you can't work on the jobs. They won't hire you if you're not the union, because the union's in there making sure that you all have to give them dues if you want it to work. So you have to pay them for the honor of being allowed to work,
yes.
or they're not allowed to hire you if you're not part of, it's just a wheel to take more money. Like, you're a cog in the wheel of, extortion when it comes to money. And that's what it is.
Well, I mean it's literally protection money, because, we got the mafia connection, all that too.
I'm just saying, it's like, it's not even, I'm not saying protection money as much as it is like, you have to pay us money for the chance to work.
It's like Disney. You have to pay us $200 to get into the gate for the chance to maybe ride a ride.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
But if you don't pay us, you're definitely not going to ride the ride. That's why so many people...
And if you pay us more, we'll bump you to the front of the line.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're making us more money, we bump you. Yeah, it's exactly how it works. And that's why there's so many people in these unions that are not working, because they're so desperate for a chance to get on the ride, to ride Hollywood or get ridden by Hollywood, that they're paying union dues and they're not getting anything.
They said most of them don't. They said, well, I forget the numbers. What were they saying? There was like the vast majority don't even make enough money to even pay for like their health insurance or anything. They're in the union. They're paying dues, but they aren't working.
2% of union paying actors and dues paying actors in Hollywood apparently make enough to do it full time. 2%.
2%. Mm-hmm.
That's insane. That's just absolutely insane. Could you imagine if like other fields were like that? Like, hey, you want to be an artist? Join the Artist Guild. And there's no guarantee you're actually going to get work, but, give us money every year. So if work comes up and you have to fight, 500 other people for it, you at least have an opportunity to try out for the gig. And that's what it is with a union too. You have an opportunity to read for this or that or whatever. But they're talking in this article that this could possibly end the unions, because they're not going to have the power over Hollywood that they had before. Mm-hmm. Again, I want to point this out. Hollywood has not recovered jobs lost during the strikes, report says.
Now, the bad news is, though, on the other opposite side, is that there's no union at all to watch out for, like, the people that are members. That the Hollywood, damn well, the studios are going to try to do really underhanded, shitty things or get you to agree to let them, use your likeness or your voice forever for, like, for free. And so the unions are necessary in that regard, like to make sure that people are not working in unsafe environments, that kind of stuff, make sure they're getting residuals, things like that. Yes, I agree with the unions in there. And I think that's why they're necessary, because of course, Hollywood loved the studios would love for them to be gone. So there's a necessity for them, but I think they've overstepped so much.
I think they've destroyed their credibility. I mean, even, we talked about before, they're trying to cast a wider net now. They want
they want to come into
like
YouTube.
Yeah, they want YouTubers to join, podcasters to join, and it was ridiculous.
Sit down, Tiny Tim. Just,
Yeah, it was ridiculous during the strikes. They were like, you're not even allowed to talk about studio
movies.
They
tried to tell us that. We're like, fuck you.
Exactly.
You didn't like it the first time. We're going to do it again.
So only the Writers Guild of America has weighed in on the matter. They said it was a disaster for writers, for consumers, and for competition. Two sources said that as of Wednesday, none of the member unions at the Entertainment Union Coalition, which includes WGA, SAG-AFTRA, and the California IATSE Council and others, have brought the Warner Brothers sale yet.
I think they're not saying anything yet because we don't know. I mean, we know Paramount's put in a couple offers. There's rumors circulating about other people wanting to put in offers, but that's just rumors. So I think they're probably just waiting to see who gets it and why and what, and then they're going to start screaming. But, I think it's interesting they went from, we're not going to let this happen, even though, how can you tell them no? Disney and Fox merged, to crickets, which is interesting.
Yeah, so they said they don't know what to do because they said basically Trump is pushing for Paramount, which is the Ellisons, his besties. He's pushing for Paramount to get the merger. And of course, what will happen with that? And I'm sure he is because if they get Warner Brothers, then something's going to happen to CNN. And he hates
they're
CNN.
going to have to sell it off because they're not going to keep. They're not going to. Because they can't keep both. They're not going to.
Or merge it. I mean, they can merge it with CBS News, and that puts Barry Weiss in charge, and then the whoever the guy is, it's reporting to the president to be like, they're doing what they're supposed to.
They'd have to merge it into one, or they'd have to just sell it off, or some other stuff to somebody else.
Yeah. So here's their concern. It's a merger would have major consequences with potentially thousands of additional jobs getting slashed. We'll talk about Paramount, fewer productions, and less bargaining power for the unions. This is an actor who's anonymous. Writers don't have a marketplace anymore. And even if California's got more tax credits to give out,
which they've been doing, yes,
we could soon have one less studio applying for them, said an actor who wanted to remain anonymous. All this organizing around bringing filming back to LA is going to get cut off at the legs if Warner Brothers is gone.
Why? Because if they're merged in together and there's one less quote unquote studio, wouldn't that be better for, wouldn't that be more money for other people or independents?
Not necessarily. I don't know. I think it's
because it's not gone. It's still going to be part of Paramount. It's just they might do double the amount of things they were doing before.
Maybe
they're going to take over the Warner stuff.
Or they might just look at it and be like, we're only going to do stuff that performs.
Well, I'm sure they're going to do that too. But I'm just like, but if there's limited tax credits and there's different studios, and before it was a competition to see who gets tax credits, if they merge into one, that would just mean that there'd be more opportunity for other studios.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean less opportunity.
I think you're also going to have, I mean, you mentioned that. We're also going to have more competition from individuals, from smaller people who can produce
independents. Stuff. Yeah. And I'm like, which is where it's at. So I don't think, I can see where they think it's bad news.
For the
I don't
unions.
think it's bad. Yeah. I don't think it's bad news. I don't think it's less opportunity. I think it's more opportunity. It's just not all their opportunity.
Exactly. So you're going to have smaller productions, smaller studios who maybe are outside the union's system filming elsewhere. I mean, eventually what's going to happen is we're going to have an entertainment industry that's not centralized in California out of necessity because it's too damn expensive. And the unions.
Well, that's why California's trying to do these tax credits now, because they're afraid that's going to happen. It's been happening, and they're trying desperately to offer tax credits to get the studios to stay there.
So, I mean, we're looking, very realistically, we are looking at, and I think we've already watched it. We just didn't realize that was it. We're looking at the end of Hollywood as we've known it. And there was another article they're talking about Robert Redford dying sort of signaled the end of old Hollywood.
I think the end of Hollywood's happened a long time before now, because I was just laughing to myself thinking about where are they going to film in Hollywood? You have to find the streets that aren't full of shit and covered with homeless people.
I know,
druggies that sitting there, twerking.
Oh God, it's so sad.
Twerking.
They're twerking. Well, no, you got the TikTokers twerking,
and then you got the druggies tweaking, and
sometimes
it's
they're
been
both.
a very long day for me. Anyway.
But they said, the unions aren't commenting to the wrap on what they're going to do yet. Because like you said, I don't think they know, but I think they're also scared if they shoot their mouths off again, that the studios, which could replace them pretty easily now, or a lot more easily than they could, they're going to retaliate. Now, I think what needs to happen is more union members need to go FICOR. We talked about this before, that you can pay a nominal fee to at least be able to be eligible to get into these productions or whatever. But really,
yeah, but I mean, right there, that's what I'm talking about. You can pay us a little bit less, but then that way you still have the right to go work.
Yeah, but that's going to end. That's going to end. I think and this is why they're freaking out before. We did a video on that. They're talking about how there's so few productions. People are leaving California. So they're trying to get YouTubers and podcasters into their unions to pay dues. Eventually that grift is going to end, because it's not going to be sustainable.
Because they're thinking, oh, I'm part of Hollywood too. And it's like, no,
you're paying to think
they'll take your money. And
they'll take your money.
But trust me, they'll make sure you know your place.
Yeah. So this is Paramount. This is what we're dealing with. This is why I think that it's going to be bad news for a lot of people in Hollywood if Skydance gets a hold of Warner Brothers too, because they immediately started slashing jobs.
Yeah. So did Disney when they got a hold of Fox.
Yeah, I mean, what are you supposed to do? Like, pay everybody forever just because you're nice?
This is what happens. Anytime any companies merge or any company buys out another company, this is like one of the first things to happen. It's not surprising at all.
So the initial volley of layoffs is going to hit 1,000 staffers, and they said there's going to be about 2,000 positions this week total, and that's going to continue until they get the company down to the size where they think it should be. And they're also probably looking to scrounge up some money to buy Warner Brothers, and then rinse and repeat. They'll do the same thing over there. We don't want to be a company that has layoffs every quarter, they said. So we're going to just rip the Band-Aid off this quarter. The Post previously reported that insiders anticipate an epic bloodbath next month, as management has told division heads across the company they're going to have to compile kill lists of people whose jobs are set to be terminated. And that includes CBS News, Paramount, MTV, Nickelodeon, Paramount Plus.
MTV's still around?
Somehow.
Just
MTV
pull the plug there, man. I mean, the life support's about worn out on that.
Oh, my God. Yeah. And
actually, if they made it music television again and made it like the 80s, it would probably do really well, because Gen Z would be all over it.
They have something similar to that on like Roku, but I think it's just Warner Brothers stuff. It's not like all that. Like, I would love to see it come back, but with the old commercials and everything. That would be great.
I'm just saying, if they just brought MTV back and they put old music videos on it and different things, and even maybe start making new music videos and stuff, putting it on that and stuff like that, besides what you see on YouTube, it would probably do well. But
it'd be like vinyl on TV.
That's what I'm saying, because they're all wanting it, I think it would do well, but I don't know if they're that smart.
So they're going to disclose their earnings on November 10th, and then they're going to talk about just how extensive these layoffs are going to be. And I think it's going to be, I think bloodbath is a very appropriate thing, or a very appropriate way to put it, because and it's going to be worse. If they buy Warner Brothers, it's going to be worse, because they might just keep people from the Warner Brothers side and not keep them on the Paramount side, or vice versa. And
it means since they just got hold of Paramount, usually a company will try to keep their people in place because they know them and they know who they can trust. But since it's all new for the most part, the way across the board, it's anybody's guess who get to stay and who get to go.
So we'll keep an eye on this. But I think it's basically Hollywood got shot, or in this case, kind of shot itself, and it's bleeding out. But it's like the movie where they didn't realize yet that they've been shot. It's like, oh, we ran away from the bad guy. Oh, we're safe. And then they look down, they're like, oh my God, I've been shot. I didn't realize I've been shot. And it's not gonna be pretty. And they're not gonna go quietly either. I'm telling you.
Well, they're quiet right now, but I think they're just trying to they're probably just, scheming and waiting to see what's going on and try to come up with some kind of plan.
How can we take over YouTube? Well, Disney's already working on that. You're talking about that today.
Well, that's what a couple things. That's what I think I think it is. Like, they're trying to figure out how to pivot to that stuff, take over that. But so Disney had a big story on the Disney Parks blog. I've been telling you, Disney, you've been telling them too. Disney's been trying to get YouTube forever.
For a decade. YouTube. I mean, it's been a long time.
They bought Maker thinking they were getting PewDiePie. We all know how that went. So now Mr. Beast and some of the other YouTube, different YouTubers that are popular did Make-A-Wish, which I think Make-A-Wish is a fantastic thing, and I think it's great they did it. but I think it's also one giant, attempt by Disney to buy their way into YouTube and to people's good graces with YouTube, and they're trying it again. It's like typical Disney.
Yep, who are the biggest YouTubers? Let's buy them off.
Yeah, this is after they had Mr. Beast that thing for Tron Ares, and we all know how Tron Ares went.
Yeah, it worked out so well.
It didn't do very much, did it? Because you can hire him to advertise your stuff and promote you, doesn't mean there's enough audience crossover to make it worth it.
I question the popularity, the legitimate popularity of Mr. Beast, because you don't see the candy bars or the toys flying off the shelves.
No.
Right? I get he gets a lot of views. I'm not doubting he gets a lot of views, but that translating into real world success, I'm just not seeing it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he's getting deals and stuff for Hollywood and stuff. So there's
who cares? I guess at the end of the day, secure the bag. Who gives a shit if people actually like you or not? Just get your money and get out, and you're set for life.
Nice when you talk to him.
I did talk to him before. Yeah, there's lore.
We're not going to get into the lore.
I'm not going to get into the lore, but there's some.
He wrote you. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. It's a whole thing. Anyway, are we gonna wrap this up?
Yep.
Let's wrap this up. So please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.
For more pop culture news, views, and rants, go to news.clownfishtv.com. That's news.clownfishtv.com.